self-care is not selfish. It's actually the biggest part of showing love that you could offer to your family, your friends, and your community.
As women, we nurture and take care of the world. And so it's just so important to make your health, your self-care numero uno. So
get around people who are going where you want to go and who are where you want to be. And that's exactly what I did. I wanted to be in real estate, so I got around people who were doing things in real estate that I wanted to do.
So you might not be able to move things around or change what happened to you, but if you can change the way that you see it and how you're reacting to it, there's a way.
Just do what you have to do. There's no excuse. This morning, I knew that if I didn't get up at 4 in the morning and clear out my emails and do everything that I needed to do.
You don't want the government to dictate or a judge to dictate how your hard-earned sacrifice and wealth gets distributed to your family and your loved ones.
Our culture is embedded in American culture. There are people who come to America and engage in American culture, which is Black culture. So Juneteenth is really about Black culture, and it's about celebrating us, celebrating the different diasporas of Black people, even the dialects.
At Amazing Media, we don't just create video content. We craft storylines, narratives, and memories that move people and grow brands. Whether you're a speaker, author, coach, or creative, we help you turn your vision into powerful, high-quality content that connects, converts, and leaves a lasting impression. From stunning video production and branding to unforgettable events and digital marketing, we combine strategy and storytelling to make your message unforgettable. So, are you ready to elevate? Your story deserves to be seen, heard, and felt. Let's make it amazing!
It's a lot of challenges. Financially, it can make you or break you. It will give you a lot of setbacks. Like you will come out, if depending on how you begin, you can have a lot of debt starting a new business. The customer flow is not really the way you want it to be in the beginning. It's not really consistent. Like you can have customers, you can have a good week, you can have a bad week. It's a lot of paperwork involved, because you always have to make sure you have your EINs, and you have to make sure you got your LLC, and you have to make sure you have your certificate of authority. Like you just need to have everything lined up so that if you need to open up this account, or you need to open up a business account with the warehouses, as far as like getting your products in bulk, like you need these things. It's costly, yes. Starting out, you're not going to make $1 million your first run. It takes time. You definitely need to be open to exploring social media outlets. You need to have more than one, because sometimes you might have people that's not on one outlet. They might be on another one. You really do need to share your photos. You need to explain to your customers this, what's in it. Presentation is everything. So, when you're building your brand, just make sure that it looks amazing, but please make sure it tastes amazing as well.
Absolutely. So with all of the challenges that you just shared, why are you still in it?
It's the love I have for it. I mean, if God brought me this far, I feel like he ain't lead me to fail. So I'm just going to keep striving.
But what I'm hearing from you is that in order to begin business, you can't have a faint heart, right?
No, you can't. You can't.
And I'm also hearing that you have to have a love for what you do, because with all of those challenges, I'm not gonna lie, I probably would have just been like, I'm gonna give up. Like this is.
Oh, you have those days. You do. You have them days where you be like, oh my God, why? Why did I do this to myself? You do beat yourself up from time to time, but you still have to encourage yourself to keep going. even when it get rough. Because sometimes I'll do pop-up events and I'll be in here ready to cry. Like, oh my God, why did I sign up? Why? It's so much. It's too much. I'm so tired. But, you know, and I still work a full-time job. So it's a balance.
It is. It is. Trust me, my son, I have a 11-year-old, and he started a candle business. And I was like, I haven't been in a product-based business in a very long time. I was up until he did a pop-up event, and we were up until 4 o'clock in the morning. No, 4 o'clock in the morning. And then we had to wake up at 7 so that we could go out there and set up our tables. I was like, why am I doing this to myself?
Yes, that's exactly how you feel.
I was like, I give up for you. I was like, you done, right? You don't want to do this anymore. He's like, no, I made good money. Now he's like, all right, what's the next one? And I'm like, oh my gosh.
It's a lot.
So talking about that, and now you are one of our premier vendors for our Juneteenth festival. So what encouraged you, I guess, to sign up to be a part of our Juneteenth festival?
Again, my other best friend, she's actually going to be a vendor.
You gotta love the friends. You gotta love the friends.
I got a good circle.
That is good to hear.
My other best friend, which is she'll be here as well, Sasha Sweet Kitchen. She was like, "Come on, friend, let's do it." And I'm like, "I don't know." I was like, "That's a little mainstream. That's a little big event. I don't know if I'm ready." She was like, "You can do it. You can do it." So, you know, kudos to my best friends. They rock out with me through it all. If I'm down and I need encouraging, they pick me up. If they see something they think we all can do, we do it.
I love that. And having, like you said, you know, having a circle of individuals who are like-minded, who have similar attributes. So do y'all all do savory treats, or do y'all do a combination?
Me and my best friend Stacia, we both do savory treats, but we usually like offense. If she bakes something, I won't bake it. If I make something, she won't make it. When building your brand, always make sure that it's not another name someone else might have. Always try to be unique with what you're doing. It's kind of, you know, a lot in this industry, as far as baking goes, you know, it's a lot of repeat. So, you know, a lot of us do the same thing. A lot of us have the same products. Everybody buys the same containers and kits. So you just have to be authentic. Customer service plays a major role. Like, be kind to your customers. Don't make your customers feel like you don't need their business, or, you know, they're not human, or, you know, just make them feel important as well, because without them, there is no business. There is no you.
Come on now. You better tell them. You better tell them like it is. If you don't have good customer service, I'm going somewhere else.
And also, you don't have to, if you feel like the vibe is off with a customer, you don't have to pursue it, because some customers can break your business as well. All money is not good money. Sometimes you can say no, and it's okay.
Absolutely. And when I do coaching, that's one of the things that I'm constantly sharing with individuals, right? Is you get to choose who your best customer is. That is the reason why we go into business for ourselves. You don't have to work with everybody. And a lot of people are like, oh, I'm just trying to get every dollar I can get. And I'm like, if you are in scarcity mode for your business, and you will never survive, because you will always be in a space of running to the dollar instead of having the dollar run to you.
Right.
So I'm glad that you said that. And I'm glad that you're in a space that you also believe that, you know, all money is not good money. So sharing that, you talked about working full time and doing this part time. So how do you balance being a part-time baker while growing your company?
It's a lot of sleepless nights. I can tell you that. It's a lot of sleepless nights. Like, sometimes I can have orders throughout the week, and then I'm baking right after getting out of work, and then going straight to work. So, you know, it's a lot of sleepless nights, but it's also preparation as well. So, you know, if I try not to take orders that I don't have to shop for, you know, instead of having to do that running around and I got to go here to pick this up. I try to make sure if I do an order, I have to already have the ingredients, and I have to already have it here. That way I could just come in, start working on it, prepare it, freeze it, do whatever I need to do, and it's ready by morning. Instead of me it's time consuming when you have to go out and get it.
Right.
And then
That makes
sometimes you could do the Instacart, but sometimes that takes too long because now you got to wait hours and now you're up longer. So it's always best to being in, doing that way. I'd rather just take orders that I know I can prepare. I won't take things that I have to shop for.
Yeah, and I imagine that also messes with your margins as well when you're doing having to do an Instacart
It's a takeaway.
and things like
It's a
that.
big
Yeah,
takeaway.
yeah. How would you say the community supports, or does the community play a role in helping you as a Black business owner?
Absolutely. They pretty much promote my business. They come out, they buy from me. They share my stuff, they network for me. They'll tell a friend they'll tell a friend, tell a friend. I get linked with corporations and my bank as well. I go to workshops with them and I meet I meet other business owners, Black business owners. And I bring treats so they can taste it. And it's kind of like I appreciate my community. Like I don't think I can make it without them.
Absolutely, I love that. What do you do? You talked about a couple of things as far as bringing samples and stuff like that. What are some things that you can share that you do to market your business?
I put my logo on a lot of things. So like even when I'm doing if I bring cupcakes and my logo is on it, I always have my business cards on standby. I also have my Instagram on the back of my card so that they can just click and go straight to my Instagram. You'll see what it is that I have that's uploaded. If they're on my Facebook, my Instagram, my TikToks, everything's linked together.
Mm-hmm.
So you could kind of go from one page to the next page to just see pretty much my work. I always upload photos. I always do a recap video if I do a vending event. I try to get reviews as well, and I post them so that people know exactly what item I have, what the person tried, and if they liked it. I do intro photos when I do something new. I'll say introducing this is something new that I'm working on, or this is a new treat that I would like for you guys to try.
I've always been good with fashion. I've always been told as a 6'9" guy, Black guy in New York and Brooklyn, yo, you mad tall. I don't know what fashion is for you. I played pro ball, so basketball, that was our world. We was like, fashion, yeah, ain't for you, so. But I always, thought outside the box. That was just always me. And I knew the things that I had real potential, but it wasn't until I bumped into a fashion designer such as him, who was so inspiring with everything he's already made and how far he came along with his own fashion. He used to always push me more than everybody else. Bro, do this. This is amazing. What is wrong with you? So I was just you know what? Let me just, try my hand at it. And I ended up just getting really good feedback and stuff, from people about the stuff I made. And it genuinely just made me feel amazing to know that despite all the signs and the messages that they give you in life, that as a Black man, you could really make a difference in somebody's life just by the things that come to your head and the creativity that you have. So I pride myself on those things. I also pride myself on basically just showing the world that you can definitely take other routes to success that aren't traditional. That's one of my biggest things I always try to push and advocate for. It's about the fact that there's more than one road that we've been told is the only way to success. And honestly, I don't know a better culture of people that do that. Is honestly why I try to, I guess, use myself as an example to be able to create those type of examples or send those messages, even if it has to be through things like wearable art. I've been an artist since I was 6 years old. My mother can tell you this. Big shout out, Pastor Felix. But my mother can tell you this. I've been drawing and creating pieces. I used to draw as an art when I was a kid. I used to draw because my brother used to draw, and I got really good at it. And it's just the things I was good at, my mother was she knew it wasn't normal. You're not supposed to be this good at this at 6. You're not supposed, so anything where I can have freedom of creative expression, especially now in 2026, this is where we are with it. I'm going to gravitate to that. And I've just been having fun showing people just how great that can be and just how great and how much talent our culture has as a people, so
this is one of the greatest platforms I could think to even express that. Athenia, I think, does an awesome job at Juneteenth. I had the pleasure of being a fly on the wall last year while Mr. Ewan Richards was actually doing his thing, and I was in shock and awe. It was one of the greatest things I've ever seen in my life as far as something put together for our people. Like I sat at a ceremony that was basically like celebrating our Black men as kings. I'm sorry, I'm not used to that. I'm from Brooklyn. Like I'm not used to that. So it was like, it made me want to cry. I ain't gonna tell y'all because, you know, I'm a man. But I made me want to cry. You know what I'm saying? Like I saw it and I was in the corner, and then it's like big shout out to Eli Brown too. He was actually running for councilman of Brownsville, and he's actually a lifelong friend of mine. He popped up and was one of the honorees that was there to be honored as a Black king. And I think the host of that was Ewan Richards also, by the way, if I'm not mistaken. And he did a bang up job as well. The women who were there were draped in just beautiful fashion, and it was so inspiring. I said, I gotta be in this next year. I have to. I was doing everything. I think I could tell you, I was lifting waters with Kendall, right? I was lifting waters, bringing stuff back. I'm like, I have to be in this next year. I have to be. For real. It was so inspiring. You probably got tired of me talking too much about it. Once we got back, man. But man, when I found out I was in this, I a tear came to my eye, man. I just want to do the best thing I can to show people just what we have to offer, how amazing we are as a culture, and how the things that we do, we don't have to always go back and forth with each other as a culture. It doesn't have to be the young Negro versus the old Negro, or the light-skinned Negro versus the dark-skinned Negro, or the female Negro versus the male Negro. We can really be rooted in strength, bro. Like we could really come together and do things together without hate, without malice, and show you just how amazing we are. Because we always show people that, whether they're looking or not, we always show them that. So I appreciate the platform. You know what I mean? It's honestly, it touches my heart, man. I appreciate it. I'm thankful.
You know? Well, I appreciate you all, and to me, this is a testament as well, right? About just the organization of everything and how people come into the space together and want to stay connected and want to do more and want to participate in different spaces. So I appreciate you. I never stop to say thank you to everyone who's given a hand or lifted a hand in any way.
So ever since I was young, I remember doodling on my math test and all my quizzes and all the things that I have. I would just make little dresses, and I would get in so much trouble. And I remember very young, I knew about fashion school because I was from Haiti, first and foremost. So I was born and raised in Haiti, and I came to the US very young. And so growing up, I spoke French and I spoke Haitian Creole. So English is, the language I had to learn. And so I'm very thankful for where I'm at now. But I knew there was a fashion school. I just didn't know what, but I just know right away I just wanted to be into fashion. So having such a safe space and a support system with my family, being able to express myself and be creative, which is very important, because being in the right environment can help you motivate you to continue. So my collection has a lot to do with texture. It has a lot to do with colors, with the brightness, the cultures, the streets of Haiti, myself as well. I'm very whimsical, and I think everybody should be frolicking all the time. Go outside, touch some grass, and frolic. And my collection also has a hint of edginess. So I also incorporate bondage as well into my collection. So I work with materials soft like organza and lace, but I'm also working with leather and hardwire and just mixing the two together so it can just be this mix of, so much uniqueness, which is why I love fashion and I love expressing myself as well. So yeah, that's about it for me.
Wow. So I love how everyone uses different. I love how everyone uses different textures to bring into the space. Now I'm going to get in. We got time's already. Oh my gosh, this should have been like a 2-hour segment. Okay, so what challenges have you faced as Black designers and entrepreneurs? And we're going to start with you, Nini.
There we go. So the challenges, I think, is very much a support system. I think you have to have a good support system and an environment, finances as well, of course, because we always struggling finding a safe space to creatively let it flow, and just finding community, more so as in people seeing your vision, but you having to see your vision first and then telling them, look, this is who I am and this is what I like, and you're just going to have to accept it. So there's a lot of challenges, and but we're resilient. We're very resilient, and we continue to strive, and we continue to glow and blossom. So I'm definitely here to take up space and show out and show up, and that's what everybody else is doing too.
Absolutely, and we're looking forward to you taking up space, because that's what we need to do more of. I feel like we as black individuals don't do enough taking up space. We play small so that others can play big on our backs, and that's not okay. So thank you for sharing that. I'm going to pass it over to you, Marissa.
Okay, some of the challenges I would say would probably maybe scaling, because it's just me in my hands and everybody wants a piece. So I'm thinking to the way I would want to grow is probably teach crochet as a wellness outlet kind of thing. Because I know it helps me stay calm and things of that nature. I'm trying to see how I could scale in that way. So yeah, that's basically definitely finances, work-life balance, because I still work a 9 to 5. I'm a mom to a 3-year-old. So being able to create that, like what you said, Miss Nini, being able to create in a safe space are some of the challenges I do deal with.
So I started stepping over 20 years ago, in high school in 7th grade. They basically, the team started, because what they did was they blocked off all the entrances, so because they knew I was a dancer, because they see me on the dance floor, because I've been dancing since I was like 2 years old. Performance runs in my family. So what they did, they blocked off all the exits when I was in 7th grade, so I could not leave the building, because they wanted me on the team so bad. They was like, we seen you on the dance floor, we see how you get down, like, no, you need to join, you need to join, you need to join. So I was like, oh my God, I like literally I could not exit. So I had to go and try out. And when I first joined, like it was hard. Like I had to do the tryout like 7 times for me to get it. And now I'm the only person from high school running a national step team here in New York and in West Virginia. As you said before, we are an awards winning step team. I have over maybe 12 awards. I have a scholarship.
See, technology don't want us to be great. I tell you. He was just getting into the good stuff. It said scholarship, like, huh? Wait, what? Like,
what he was saying though is cool, because I know someone else who that happened to him, where like it took him a while to get into stuff, and then at the end of the day, now he's the dancer. So it's cool to see how resilience is, and that's something that I'm sure we all share. That's what we all share also as a community. This is what Juneteenth represents too. So what Jojo is speaking, he's speaking truth to power.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm so sorry.
No worries. Go ahead. Yeah, we're gonna come back to that resilience for sure. But go ahead, Jojo.
I forgot where I left off at.
You were talking about all of the different things. You were saying you have scholarships and the award winning, the different places that you've gone.
What was the last thing that I said?
Scholarships.
Yes. So I have a scholarship award that I won from the World of Step, which is an international organization. They perform in basically all over the world. So I had competed a few years ago at a virtual competition against Peru, and I won. That's how I won my scholarship award. My organization has also done women's empowerment, hosted by us, which a lot of people did not like because it was a guy hosting it. But I mean, I don't see the difference. We're empowering women, so we're also the first ever step team to perform in the Brooklyn Puerto Rican parade here in Bushwick. There has been no other step team besides us, and we're gonna go for the third year. Right before we compete at your event, we have the Puerto Rican parade. Then we have Pride before that, Brooklyn Pride, and then it's you guys right after. So we usually have all these back-to-back events. It's been an amazing year for us so far with all these shows because my organization was down for about 3 or 4 years. And we're trying to recruit people. It's really, really hard being a community steps team. So it's hard for us to get to the kids because a lot of these schools around here, they already have step teams. So they get to the kids before we can even like try. And being that our rehearsals take place like basically like outside or in my house. So it's, getting the parents' consent and all that is like, you be like, like, who the hell are you? Like, because like we're not licensed or anything like that. So when parents give the trust into us, it really means a lot because we're basically taking them into our homes and teaching your kids whatever. But they're also learning history. They're learning because this is how slaves communicated with each other through step. It was their form of communication. Like instead of using words because they weren't allowed to speak whatever, they would communicate through stepping. And it kills me when people don't know their history on step but want to be a coach. I'm like, how? How can you coach when you don't know your history? I made sure before I even opened up my organization that I knew my history on it before even going this far
And that's
long
definitely
into it.
kudos to you,
So
JoJo,
it's
because
been a
not everybody.
blessing,
Yeah.
and I'm super excited to do Juneteenth for the first time ever. My team is excited. We actually have rehearsal later on today for you guys, so we're super excited. We're amazed, and we can't wait.
I should have had y'all do a little preface, a little showcase of what y'all gonna. Go ahead, Kai. You already started. Drop something.
Listen. All right, because I really okay. Say what you need to say. Get it all out the way. Don't tell me that you're fine just to please me. Yeah. I can see the energy is off. Believe me, you're fooling no one, especially not me. Study every part of you. All right, you got to come to Juneteenth to hear the rest.
Love it. Yes, come on. Thank you, Kai. Appreciate that. I'm looking. Yeah, see, ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. Michael, come on. Tell us how we can connect with you, and then give us a little sample.
For sure. My IG is It's Michael O Music. It's Michael O Music. And here's just a small sample of what you'll hear. You bring me sweetness. Ain't nobody do it better than you. No, say, Queen be my hotness. Gotta be the reason I can sleep. I'm stuck on you. Yeah, come see us on Juneteenth in New York City.
Dope. All right, June 20th in the building. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna pass it over to you, Brooklyn Prince.
Okay. What was the okay, you can find me on all platforms at BPLIFEALWAYZ. Music is on all DSPs. And let me see. Okay. I thought it was love. That was a lie. Just get by. I was her drug. All of this time I thought she was mine. She wanted to searching for clout. She serving them out. She in love with the club. She turned into a dub. And y'all hear the rest when it drops.
Yeah. Love it. All right, Brooklyn Prince. All right, JoJo. Take us home. How do people get in contact with you?
You can find me on Instagram with my whole team, my family, as I call them. Is Royal Stepping Family of Precise on Instagram.
Awesome. You gonna bring a step
I
in for
got a
us?
step.
That's how I left you last. I give you some to get you ready.
I got you.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you all for sharing. And thank you for being willing to show yourselves in this space.
I mean, much of what kind of like moved me into this work is the experience of the continued struggle for black people to achieve like full dignity and control over our lives and our destinies and our communities. I was in college when Michael Brown was killed, and that really, from that point, I was at protests really every week, and I felt this surge of power, of both anger, but also like a commitment to building and transforming our world, so that to like stop the killing of our people in these terrible and unjust ways. And as mass movements do, the mass movement ebbed, and we were left with like, okay, well, how do we build in a durable and sustainable way such that we have the power to make sure that our people, our kids, our communities, both like have what they need, and then also aren't subject to police violence and terror. And so that really, for that, I was like, you got to be organized. You got to join in an organization. No one person, no one small group of people can bring about the change that we need. And so, really, for the past, I guess 12 years, I've been a part of movements. I've been a part of organizations, and it's really, in the kind of love for our community that's brought me to working and organizing in Ocean Hill Brownsville particularly, and like I don't want to get too ahead of the presentation coming, but a community that has such a rich and powerful history of struggling for dignity for its young people, in particular. So yeah, I'll pause
Yeah.
there and pass it over to
Thank you. Before you go, Jasmine, thank you for even bringing up. I mean, that was one of the most disheartening times, I think, for us in community. We are already going through COVID, and like I said, I have 3 kids. I have 2 boys, and having to have the conversation with at the time he was probably 10 or 11 years old, and I'm sitting here, and so I have a 11-year-old, and then I have like a 5-6-year-old, and I'm like 12 and 6, and we're sitting there and we're having a conversation with them about what's going on in the world, and having a conversation with them about, if a police officer ever stops you, you have to just comply completely to whatever it is, and you have to be this and you have to be that. And even having conversations with some of our white counterpart friends, and them not understanding, like, why do you have to have that kind of conversation with your child? And I'm like, because this is why we have to have these conversations. This is like a rites of passage conversation that unfortunately we as Black parents have to have with our Black children, and not just the men anymore, because the females are also being attacked as well. But so I just wanted to, as you were saying that, it just reminded me of that moment and how frustrated I was that I had to have that conversation with my little boys. Like, they couldn't be innocent, they couldn't be kids, that we had to have these conversations. So I'm gonna pass it on to you all.
Yeah, I mean, I think my story is honestly very similar. I think I've always, found myself as somebody who's like an empathetic person, and like I'm moved by the struggles of other people since I was like young. But it wasn't until 2020 for me that I really, I always thought of myself as a political person. Like, I follow politics and whatnot, but it wasn't until 2020 and seeing, the killing of George Floyd, and kind of especially the reaction to the mass movement afterwards, like the force that people were met with in the streets just for saying like, this is wrong. That's really what was like, I need to, not just think politically, but begin to act politically. And, for me, it started out like with a lot of reading, find answers. And eventually I got to a point where all the people that I looked up to in history, people like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, like these great, organizers in their own right, what they all had in common is they were all part of some organization. And so, I really wanted to embody that and looked for like an organization that I could be a part of to not just say the right things, but actually do the right things and help build the kind of power that Jasmine was talking about. And that's how I, found myself here. We will get into like the actual organization itself in a little bit, but that was kind of my, what brought me forward to the point of wanting to organize and do this work.
So if you want to learn more about our work, if you want to volunteer, if you are interested in becoming a member, we'll drop a link for you to sign up. Thank y'all so much for having me. I'm so sorry I have to run and leave.
Jasmine, can you just answer quickly, what does Juneteenth mean to you before you leave?
Oh, Juneteenth means to me. Juneteenth means to me the celebration of the ways that like Black people have and will continue to fight for not only our liberation from slavery, but the full right to have control over our lives and our destinies and our communities, and that the fight is ongoing. And just like, we won our freedom from slavery, we will win the right to determine our lives. And we will, and that fight is also connected to the fight for all people to be able to determine our lives freely. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Jasmine. I look forward to seeing you on the 20th and probably before then, but thank you so much. I appreciate it.
My absolute pleasure. Thank you so much, Adenia.
All right.
See you, Jasmine.
All right. So talk to us a little bit about the membership for the program. Is there a fee to be a member, or is there a prerequisite? Like, do you have to have done certain work in the community, or talk to us. What are some of the things that are I guess requirements, or are there any to be a member?
The only real requirement is that you have a desire to, improve your neighborhood. And that's really all it is to it. I mean, this is an organization that is not, there's no fee. There's no, like, we're looking for people who meet these certain criteria. It's really a place for the community to come together in an organized way and talk about the issues that impact all of us on a day-to-day, and impact, and are things that, like, people who are part of the organization want to come together with neighbors to work on. And as long as that is what, speaks to you, then this is the perfect place for anybody in the community to be.
Thank you. And how often do you all get together? How often are your meetings? Like, what is the commitment to be a member?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, we're right now in the process of building this up more and more. So, right now we're gathering as many interested people and members that we can, like the people who this project speaks to them. And then kind of like the regular cadence of meetings and the regular structure of, like, this is how often we'll meet. We're going to be meeting. This is how often we're going to be, this is what the commitment looks like. We'll grow out of, like, what the membership is able to really do. But for now, it's held down by a core group of organizers who, alongside with Ak, which we mentioned a couple times in the presentation, who's a co-founder of this organization. It's a core group that is the foundation for building this up. But as soon as we get the membership to, be of a bigger size, then those kind of like regular meetings of, the community really kind of driving it will happen. And that's really why right now we're, if it is something that speaks to you and you're interested in work, doing this kind of work, don't feel like, oh, I have all these other things and I can't commit to it. You should just, come through and even if you just come to one meeting and say, these are my issues and these are my ideas, that's an incredible contribution to the organization and to the community.
I appreciate that. As Jasmine was sharing, she talked a lot about Black Panthers and how a lot of the things that you all do are likened to them. Can you share what has been, I guess, your reasoning for the correlation?
Yeah, the Black Panthers are just an incredible historical example of what it means to really build and win alongside community, because they didn't just, kind of like what Jasmine said, this is not an organization where somebody comes in and say these are the issues and these are the things we're going to do. It really comes out of what the community is feeling. It's driven by the community itself, and it is driven by what the community at large feels. And I think that was a core model of how the Panthers operated. They were and saw themselves as the community. They embedded themselves in the community. They helped to train up the youth. They served the people of the community. At the same time that they were giving out food, they were doing political education. They really saw their role as the place where the community can come to be organized and to fight for its rights and its liberation. So that is kind of the same vision that this organization has. And there's a really there's a real history of the area of Ocean Hill, Brownsville, where the organization has grown out of and is doing a lot of work, is also a big area where the Panthers were organizing themselves. So there's these natural overlaps and historical connections that make it, it's only right that we see ourselves as wanting to, embody that kind of vision, because they really had the right type of vision on what we should be doing as a community.
I'd just like to honor just one more person in my life. I've always been kind of a frail guy as an artist, and I had a brother who biologically were cousins, but we grew up as brothers, and his name was Joseph Osborne, and he passed away, unfortunately. But his mom is on this opportunity right now. She's watching with us, and I want to celebrate him in this moment. He was known to the community as Soho Joe, and he was a fitness expert, community leader, youth advocate. And I just want to celebrate the man that I am today. He's my family member, but to everyone else, he was someone who poured into the world around him. And I think that when we speak about family being the first pillar, right, that we get to kind of pause for a moment and really take these times to give people their flowers. He's no longer with us, but she is. And so, Chantel, thank you for the ways that you raised me to be a Black king. And I appreciate that through your son, Joey. Thank you so much, Athenia, for the opportunity to take this.
Awesome. Thank you. And that's what it's all about, paying it forward, pouring into others, using the stage, not always to just highlight ourselves. I feel like we get highlighted and we get amplified more when we pour into others. So thank you, because that shows that much more of who you are as a person.
Right. Athenia, I'm so sorry, but one last quick thing. Everybody talked about their dad. If somebody sends my dad this video, I'm not gonna have him kill me. So yeah.
Say his name, brother. Say his name.
Bring him in his face.
Definitely Pastor Bernard M. Pierre, right? Who had this thing called Be a Men School. Yeah. Right, that me and my brothers all had to go through. Be a Men School. We had to wake up at 5 a.m. and plant. So if I know how to plant tomatoes and all sorts of flowers and all that stuff because of my dad. So, definitely an inspiration and leadership. I'm not gonna catch any strays, So yep, Bernard and Pierre.
He got a right hook waiting for you, Sam.
Never late. That's all I say. Never late. You got it in. I'm gonna go into the next question. We're just talking about balancing, right? The balancing act of it all. Being a community member, being a son, a child of God, being all of the things. How do you balance it all? And I'm going to start with you, Sam.
Well, questions like that, I'm the wrong guy to ask, right? Because me and my wife have this thing. Well, one day, hopefully, we plan to write this book, And the title of the book is "There's No Such Thing as Equilibrium," right? Because it doesn't exist. Equilibrium is like there's no such thing, right? If you're, unless you want to do one thing, right? If you're gonna do one thing, sure, absolutely. But if you're, if you're a multi hyphenated anything, you can't balance it, right? Because you got to take from one child to give to the other. The time that you're giving this child, the other child is not getting the nourishment that that it needs, right? So trying to figure out how to, okay, I didn't give this child food for 2 weeks. All right, let me go focus on this child. But that child is not going to be happy over there, right? So I don't believe in that word. What I do believe in is grounding yourself, right? And pacing yourself. Okay, I'm going to ground myself. I'm going to pace myself. So if I'm a part of a board of an organization, I know that they have board meetings once a quarter. Okay, I'll get ready for that board meeting 2 weeks before the board meeting happens. All right. Okay, I know I did that part. All right. So I'm the music director of my church, right? Church ain't till Sunday. Okay, so I know I got to Thursday to look at the songs that they sent. I'm not looking at any songs until Thursday or Friday night. Ain't no way. So I'm not looking at any songs until Thursday or Friday night, maybe Saturday, right? It may be Sunday on my way to church. I'm learning the songs, right? This is just what it is, right? So like having to, having to pace myself so we can make it happen. I'm sorry. Like I said, yeah, certain questions you can't ask me. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to keep it 100. Right.
But
So
I think you said it earlier too, where you was like just going to the park and just like, it just not doing anything.
Yeah, because if you are a multi hyphenate anything, like if you're like father, son, brother, creative, right? You're trying to write a book, you have a business that you're doing, and then you're part of a nonprofit and you're part of the church and you're a part of the women's ministry. There's no way. Right. And then you have a day job. Right. And then you have a night job. Oh, and then you're a professor. Like, come on. Right. There's no way. Right. So my thing is
multi-hyphenated anything.
Yeah. My fraternity brother taught me that word, and I've been using it all the time. Like, if you're a multi-hyphenated anything, there's no such thing as balance. It's just a matter of pacing yourself so that you can figure these things out. Like, I have a new thing now where three things, right? For everything that I'm doing or anything I'm a part of for the week, I just need to do 3. If I can get 3 things done for all these things in that week, I had a great week. Right. And sometimes it doesn't happen, believe it or not. Sometimes it doesn't happen. Sometimes only 1. Right. So if I can get 3 things done for all the things that I'm a part of, then I feel like I'm moving the needle forward. Right. So balance doesn't exist in my household. Me and my wife have a thing, we joke, we call it equilibrium. So, I'll look at her and she'll look at me and she'll be like, yeah, equilibrium doesn't exist. I already understand what she's saying. She doesn't have to explain anything else. Right. That means like it really doesn't. And, hopefully we'll write that book and we'll make millions.
Come on with it. I'm looking, we looking out for that book.
You just did the first promo for it. So you're
right. Now we gotta write it. Now we gotta actually write it now.
You put it into the atmosphere.
You put it into the ethos. So God is like, come with it. Let's do it. So I love that. And you have your village here to be your first artist, your seed for sure. So thank you, Sam, for sharing that. Multi-hyphenated everything. All right, True. I'm gonna pass it over to you. Oh, that wrong. Hey, True. Pass it over to you. All right. Go ahead.
I think that we don't balance. I think that life balances us. So I kind of resonate with what Sam said. My life is a whirlwind in the sense that I'm doing a million. I am one of those multi-hyphenated anythings. And I always have like a million tabs open at one time. But all that's taught me, we celebrated Black fathers, but this part of my brain, I have to give full credit to my Black mother. She's a woman of systems, a social worker, Anita Osborne, and I'm really honored to be her son because she taught me that you can be as creative as you want to be, but without a system, your creativity has nothing to stand on. And so and that's a mother's lesson if I've never heard one before. It's like, yeah, you're cute, but that's not enough. It's like you got to be able to change a tire on a car, right? Like, you got to be able to pay a bill. You got to be able to live your life. And so I want to honor her for that because what she taught me was how to compartmentalize my projects or how to compartmentalize my life so that there's always room for the things that keep me going, right? And so sometimes that just means that it is compartmentalized into a 10-minute block or a 30-minute block or a 45-minute block or a 60 to 90-minute block. But there's a system that you can develop for the life you live. And it may not look like anyone else's system. And I think that life will balance you in that way where it'll say, this year you have 4 projects on your plate, then you need to sacrifice 25% of who you are to those 4 projects respectfully. And within that, you need to know that a part of your core competency for self is self-care, right? Is recovery, is rest, right? The things that you cannot function without on a basic Maslow hierarchy of needs level, right? Is that you have to be well. I'm not an advocate for burnout at all. And the Masterpiece Society is really passionate about supporting creatives and learning how to be the full artist that you are without burnout being your narrative for creative production. It's unfair to you and to the people that get to benefit from the work you create. And that's not just limited to artists either. Again, I think that all of us are creating something, right? And so I like to maybe shift that to creators, right? It's for all creators, those who are looking to leave a thumbprint on this planet. And impact those in a way that, shows that we are standing together. So no, I don't balance my life, but I learned how to be in flow with it, and I learned how to strategize for it. Thank you for this time.
Yeah, thank you, True. Make it flow.
You need a full-time job for health insurance is actually a myth. As a travel nurse in New York, I used to get so stressed out about health insurance in between contracts until I found out about New York State of Health. They make it easier, more affordable, and are a trusted resource to accessing and managing your health insurance. And what's great is that there's a plan for everyone. And enrollment assisters and brokers are here to help online, by phone, or even help in person. So check out New York State of Health to learn more and stay up to date on your health insurance needs.